Alright, so about a year ago, or sometime around there, I read all of part one of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. And there were some good things about it, some bad things about it. Well, what I mean by that is some things I liked about it, some things I didn't like about it. It was just a middle of the road, standard, action shonen. But overall, part one wasn't interesting enough to get me into the rest of the series. After I read part one, I put it down for a while and really had no interest in picking up part two or part three and so on. However, recently, about a week ago or so, I just finished watching season one of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is part one and two. And overall, I gotta say, it's a really, really good show. It's not my favorite show I've seen. It's not my favorite anime I've seen, but it is hovering around that 7 to 8 out of 10 for me. I liked both of the protagonists in part 1 and 2, which was Jonathan in part 1, Joseph in part 2. I thought both of them did their job as protagonists really well. The side characters were also really interesting. In part 1 and 2, you had Speedwagon. In part 2, you had Caesar. In part 1, you had Zappelli. And even though those side characters were really good in their own right, they did do their job as side characters, and that is to help elevate the main character, to make the main character even better than. Now, when it comes to the villains in season one, Dio was phenomenal. Dio was absolutely an amazing villain. However, in part two, I didn't find the villains quite as captivating. Strizo, Sanviento, and Isiditis were just okay villains. They were just kind of there to bring in some action into the series and to be kind of, speed bumps for Joseph to get to the main villain, which was Cars in part two. Speaking of which, Wamu was, I feel, a better antagonist than Cars, even though he's, the side antagonist. But I feel like he was just a better antagonist than Cars because there was more of a presence to him than with Cars. He felt more intimidating and opposing to Joseph than Cars, and I think a large reason for that was just because Wamu had way more screen time than Cars, even though Cars was supposed to be the main villain. I did find Wamu to be a really good antagonist, and him and Joseph's fight was so good. It was just really, really well done. It's over the top, it's ridiculous, but that's just how the JoJo series likes to do things. So I did enjoy the anime way more than the manga, and the anime does have me interested to keep going with watching JoJo's. However, with that being said, part three, which is season two, has something like 43 episodes or some ridiculous high number like that. And to be honest, it puts me off a little bit from continuing with the series, considering that it's so long and it's going to take me a while to finish it, which is why I started watching Gintama. So yeah, I just wanted to make this quick video, just expressing my thoughts and opinions on season one of JoJo's. Again, season one is just part one and two of the manga in anime form condensed into one season.